All right, YouTube. So it has been a while since I've been out here in the garage and done any kind of work on these jet skis, and I haven't even responded to a lot of comments, or in the comment section I've had a number of questions, obviously not on this video, but others that I have not even responded to yet. If you're one of those, I apologize for that. I'll get to them, but you may have already found answers to your questions. But anyway, just kind of catching up on a couple of things, few things probably. You see the 96 GTX. This thing has been on hold now for months. And the reason being is I could not ever work out a time to meet the guy that's going to program that key for me. And so I can't remember. I think when my last video, I don't think I had put that engine in. I did film putting that engine in with my hoist, but my GoPro shut off. If you saw some of my videos, you'll see that I was having trouble. I think I fixed it. Anyway, it shut off putting the engine in, so there's nothing there. And I reinstalled the exhaust piping, everything. So the engine, well, let's just walk out here. The engine is in, it's ready to go, hopefully. And so I've got a battery in there. The whole reason behind this is the guy is actually coming to my house today. So I'm hoping this key, aftermarket key, will work. You know, I've never gotten so far as to even, I don't know what's going to happen when he gets the key done. I know it turns over. When I jumped off the relay down here, it turns over. So I'm excited to finally get a key made so I can move on and finish this thing that I stopped working on a couple of months ago. But in the meantime, it's a little bit of frustration because it hasn't been that long. So I brought these in. As you know, I was getting these things ready to sell. So they've been in the backyard, but not that long, and I had them wrapped up, sitting on a trailer. So I've brought them in, just to make sure they're running, just to do a little cosmetic work. Over here, as you can see, I had, I may have a picture of what this looked like. Anyway, so I repaired some damage, but then I created damage right here in this corner. I used the, what is it? Now I can't remember the white Marine Tech, something like that, that I repaired my Kawasaki with. Anyway, as you can see, it worked. It took care of the hole that was in this thing, but then I sanded right through the gel coat there, so a little frustrating there. But let me show you something. I pulled this ski in here. It was bone dry. If we can just picking up and going from light to shadows here. So I pulled this in. This ski hole, everything was bone dry. But when I pressed the start button, nothing happened. So I pulled the contents of the e-box here is going to get to the relay, and if you can look at it, look at that. So what I discovered over here, and I've already dried it out, this thing was half full of water. I don't know where the water came from, and the only thing I can think that somehow this water got in here from the last time we were, let me get this, got it hooked cable to the battery there. I guess it got in there maybe from the last time we were out on the lake, because I know it doesn't take long for this kind of stuff to happen, but still doesn't make sense. The ski was bone dry, that was full of water. So I'm hoping, I gotta pull this all apart, clean it up, and hopefully this will be ready to go and ready to actually put out on the market to sell. Didn't expect to be working on that one. And same thing with this one. This is the 96 GTI. By the way, we ran these things like all summer long. Both of these ran like a top. Same thing. Pulled it in here, pressed the start button. I got nothing. So I had an extra relay. I think this is the old one. As you can see, it doesn't look bad. And I went ahead and put another one in thinking, well, that was the problem, and nothing. So now my fear is this MPEM may be bad. I don't know. I've got to go through this, check everything, but I've checked the grounds and stuff already, and I know obviously I have a good battery. So just the work seems like it never ends, and I got to work on these things. And the last thing, you will see the GTS is out there. So I'd gotten that and ready to sell, and I guess that was my fault, because we had a deal, we settled on it, but I told him I really wanted to get it to the lake and run it, just to make sure everything was good before it actually changed hands. He said sure. And the reason I was going to take it with this one, the gentleman that's going to program this key lives near the lake. So what I was going to do was, when I took this one to get it programmed, I was going to take that one and basically put them both out on the water for test runs. Well, I guess too much time has passed. He hasn't responded, and obviously he's never come to pick it up. So I guess that one is going back out on the market. Anyway, so I'm going to stop here. That's kind of where I'm at. It's been well over a month since I've been out here to work on any of this, and so maybe kind of getting back at it. The reason being, again, is I've got to get these out, clear the garage, so that if I can spin around here, so I can get this boat in and get that engine out and start rebuilding. All right, so the guy is pulling up now. I'm gonna, if he'll let me film, I will film it, but if not, I'll check back in with you. All right, this is what I've been waiting for, wanting to do for a while. Get it to this point to see where I'm at compression wise. So I've done nothing to this engine, guys, since I rebuilt it. Got it back in here, got everything all back together, and have been waiting now for probably a couple of months to get this P programmed. So the aftermarket worked as far as turning this thing over, or programming, let's put it that way. So you're going to find out. See if I can. You see that? Let me see. I don't know if it's even going to stay there. All right, let's see. Maybe it'll stay there. Let's turn this thing over and let's see what kind of compression we got. All right, what do we got? About 140. You can see that. So I guess I'll take that. I was really hoping for 150. So let me get it hooked to the other cylinder. I had it to the mag cylinder. Let's put it to the PTO and let's see what we get there. Hold on just a minute. All right, so now I've got it hooked up to the PTO, and let's check out what the compression is there. Okay, so I guess we're all right. What do we had? About 140, and then we're just a tad under 150. So, all right, I will take that. I believe that's still within the range. for that to be okay. So finally now we can get this ski done and get this thing wrapped up, get it back to the gentleman who dropped it off to me. Only thing yet I have not done is I have not actually heard it run. So this is the furthest I've gotten so far. So I'm gonna get this rest of my tester out of here, and yeah, let's drop some fuel down in here, down into the cylinders, and let's just see if we get this thing to turn over, fire up, and hopefully not blow up, right? We got good compression. It really would be nice to hear this thing run after all these months of just sitting here and working on it, and then having to wait all this time just to get it to a point where I can even do a compression check. So hold on, let me get some fuel and see if we can get this thing running. Do it quick way here with some fuel. If it'll just run for a second or two, that'd be fine with me. I just want to know that this thing is going to fire up. That I just dropped the spark plug down into the abyss. Let me get another spark plug. I'm not fishing that out right now. Now we got it. So much time there, fuel probably evaporated. All right, one more time. And it ain't happening. I'll try it a little bit with my choke and let's see. Nope. All right. I may take this airbox off the carburetor and let's just do that. I'm not going to be satisfied till I hear this thing run, and so I'm going to stop the camera, and I may, like I said, take the top off the airbox, get it down to the carburetors, and let's drop some fuel in there, get this thing running. Okay, so it is the next day. The weather moved in yesterday afternoon, so I got these things in the garage. But so embarrassed from yesterday afternoon. I did, just like I said, I took this thing apart all the way back down the carburetors and started throwing fuel down it. and it did crank up, but it would only run for just a couple of seconds and shut off. It did that about, I don't know, 4 or 5 times before I realized that my fuel selector was off. So let me get the camera there. So I've got it on right now. I've got it shoved to reserve. I don't have much fuel in it. Can't believe I did that, but I did. So last night I buttoned everything back up, got it all back together, and I did crank it and run it. So just to prove to you this thing does run, the only thing I had to do, it was an adjustment on the idle screw to get it up to 3,000 RPMs. I think that's what it's supposed to be running out of the water. So that's where she sits. So let me get you on the tripod. I have not cranked this today, so let's see how easy this thing will crank today. Alright, so as I said, I have not cranked this today. So let's see how easy she'll fire up. Alright guys, there you go. She is running good, sounds good. Like I said, idling at 3,000 RPMs. Didn't take much, just a little choke to get her going. And fumigating the garage here. But alright, so don't remember if I've mentioned, if I have, to just tune me out. The only things now that I'm going to address is I'm going to work on this paint, get this off, just clean this hood up a little bit, and I'll probably stick a heat gun to the handlebar cover here. I've already ordered a new handlebar pad there for in the middle. You can see it's dry rotted and peeling away, so I've got that coming. And then I've got, if I can back up here, room. Obviously I'm going to pressure wash this thing, get it cleaned up as good as I can, but on the bottom here you can't see probably because I still have the phone on the tripod here, but I'm going to buff out the paint. You probably, I don't know how well you can pick it up from the camera, but it is oxidized pretty good down across the bottom, the green. So I need to buff that out and this thing will be done. So next thing, I got to get that 98 GTX in here. Get over there in the corner, I've got my new hoses, I've got my resonator, battery case, and all that's got to be installed, and we'll get that 98 running. Alright guys, I will stop here and we'll move on. I appreciate you joining me, and we'll catch you on the next video.